my happy place in the wilderness by a river. So this is my campsite. Looks like somebody left me some wood over there. There's a bathroom right over this way. And there's nobody here but me. And this right here is kind of concerning. It says, police line, do not cross. Hey y'all. So the first question that I'm going to answer is the one I get the most asked on my channel. And that is, do you carry protection? Yes, I do carry protection. I'll never get into exactly what that is because the element of surprise is what's going to make it where you survive or not. I carry multiple things for protection, including bear spray. And I'm just going to leave it at that because I don't want people to know exactly what I have for my protection. And I do have them in multiple spots in my vehicle when I'm camping so that I'm never without something. So that's the first question. So yes, I do carry protection. I do watch my surroundings. I'm well aware of what could happen out there, so don't worry about that. I do have protection. Question number 2, do I ever get scared? Yeah, there have been times I've gotten scared, especially if I hear something that doesn't sound right or is something I've never heard before. But I try not to think about it while I'm out there, because if I do, then I will, I'll get really scared about it. But yeah, I get scared just like everybody else would. Question number 3, what are my other hobbies? Some of my other hobbies are I do play saxophone in different groups. I was doing triathlons for a while, but not so much anymore. I do love to ride bikes and, hike and stuff. But, I collect rocks. I collect a lot of rocks. I'm definitely a rock hound. Number 4, what's the scariest time I've ever had in the woods? I would say the scariest time, well, there's a couple that stick out to me, but one of them is I was camping up in North Georgia in the mountains, and I was all alone up there, and I was car camping, and I had my window screens up, and at 4:30 in the morning, some guy pulled up on a motorcycle in the pouring down rain and was shining his flashlight, or trying to shine his flashlight, in my car. And I didn't know whether I should say something or do something. So I chose to just stay still and not say anything or do anything. And I think he ended up leaving because he saw the camera on my car, which was not running, but he took off. So yeah, that was probably one of the scariest times. The other scary time was I was out near Mount Rushmore, and I pulled off at this overpass to check it out, and there was nobody there but me. And when I walked out to the edge of it, some random guy just come up the side of the rocks, and he was all hot and sweaty, and he was acting really nice and asking where I was from and what am I doing and who am I traveling with, and just asking so many questions that were creepy to me. And I was kind of scared because I was by myself there. But I managed to get out of that one as well. But yeah, there's been some weird things that have happened in the woods for sure. Okay, so last night at 4 o'clock in the morning, somebody pulled up here on a motorcycle, and they got off the motorcycle, and I could see their flashlight, and they were walking around my vehicle. Now, they may have just been checking to make sure I was okay, and then they realized they couldn't see in, so they just left. Another question I get a lot is, are you crazy? Well, yeah, I think I am probably crazy in a good way. Um, I do some crazy things that most people wouldn't probably do. But that's always the way I've been. I've always been real, kind of crazy. I've always been the one that rode the mountain bike down the cliff first. But I wouldn't say I'm crazy as in nuts. I'm just crazy and, I'll do stuff that most people wouldn't do. Number 6, why do you go out in the woods alone? Well, I do go out with other people once in a while, but most of the time I am alone. And a lot of the reason I do go alone is because when I am able to go out there when I'm not playing saxophone or something else, is usually when other people are working or they just can't get out there that day that I'm out there. But I have had great results going alone because animals, if there's a lot of people out there talking, sometimes animals don't come around. Sometimes the talking brings them in, though. And I think sometimes when I'm out there talking to my camera, it sparks curiosity and animals do come around. But, yeah, that's mainly the only reason I go alone most of the time is because of the schedule. My schedule is a lot different than a lot of other people, that I'm a musician and I'm playing nights and weekends and they're working all week, so they can't get out there with me. The next question I got was, have you ever seen a Bigfoot? And the answer to that is yes. I have seen one twice for sure. There's been other times where I thought I might have saw something, but it's not for sure. But the first time I saw one was in my car when I was traveling across the United States and I looked in my rearview mirror and saw one cross the road. That was my first time. My second time, I was with a group of researchers and we were walking through the forest and one ran through and we saw him. And boy, was he fast. But those videos are both on my channel and I'll link those in my description if you want to go back and watch those. Number 8, what made you get into looking for Bigfoot? Well, as a child growing up, my cousins and I, we all, used to tell spooky stories, and one of them was Bigfoot. But as a child, I just thought it was a story. And as I grew up, I still thought it was a story. I had an open mind, but I just thought it was a story. And then I think it was back in 2012 or 13, I'm not sure exactly which. I was out mountain bike riding and I came across these huge footprints out in the middle of nowhere. And it made me wonder about it. And I took some people out there and showed it to them that was in the Bigfoot community. And they thought it might be something as well. But after that, I didn't think much more about it until I had my sighting. Once I had my sighting, that was it. I was hooked. I wanted to find out more. I wanted to see what they were all about. I wanted to see what kind of habitat they lived in, what they did. I just wanted to study them. So I started looking and I started going out on my own and checking it out and finding things in the woods that were not explainable. So that's how I got into it. Number 9, Josh. I can't answer your question. It's too personal, but I'm flattered and thank you. Number 10. What scares you the most? I think what scares me the most out in the woods is people. Animals don't scare me, because I have bear spray and I have all that. But people, they can be sinister and they can do nasty, mean things to people that are horrific. So I'd say people is what scares me the most. Number 11, what cameras do I use? Right now I'm using a GoPro 7, which is, the Hero Black 7, which is really old. And I have an iPhone 13 Pro Max that I'm using. I'm looking to upgrade some of those things. I'd like to get, a camera that's for wildlife. I think that would help me a lot. But right now that's what I'm working with. I'm probably going to upgrade my phone here real soon to the top level. So that'll help some too. But that's what I'm using. Number 12, what kind of editing software do I use? I just use the iMovie that came on my MacBook. It seems to do a good job. There's some things it won't do that I would like to have done. But, it is what it is right now. That's what I have. and it works okay. So I just stick with it. I also use Carvana to do my thumbnails. That's a great website too. Number 13, what's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in the woods? I would have to say the weirdest thing I've ever seen in the woods is I was riding my mountain bike out in the woods, and I seen these 3 people coming off of a trail that was different than the one I was on. And it was a woman and a man, and the woman was like in a bikini. The man was in a Speedo, and another man had a camera with him, like a big camera, like over the shoulder camera. And they were walking out of the woods, and to me that was very weird. Number 14, I get asked this one quite a bit. Do I share my location with somebody? And the answer to that is yes. I always have family members that know exactly where I'm going, where I'm at, what time I should be back, or what time they should hear from me. So that way they know if they need to call for help, what's going on. So yes, I always make sure my family knows where I'm at. And I have several family members that are able to track me, at least until I lose signal. So hopefully my new phone that I'm going to get will allow them to track me all the way through, because I believe it has SOS on, not SOS, but satellite on it. So hopefully, we'll see. If not, I might have to get a Garmin inReach. Number 15, where are you? Now, I'm not sure what they meant by this question. If they meant where am I in the video, which is possible. But I kind of took it more as where am I located? I'm in Florida, and I'll only tell you I'm in Pinellas County of Florida, which is in the Tampa Bay region. When I'm out on these trips, I don't particularly say where I'm at, but lately I have been allowing people to know where I am, but it's only after I've been there. So it's never when I'm actually there. Number 16, why do I sleep in my car instead of a tent? Well, I sleep in my car mainly for safety reasons, because being a female traveling alone, in these areas, if I was in a tent, I'm vulnerable, while I'm sleeping. I don't know what's going on around me. And sleeping in my car, I feel a little bit more comfortable. However, I'm not opposed to sleeping in a tent, like if I was doing a long distance hike, but, or if I had other people with me. But I do sleep in my car, but I'm really looking into getting a bigger vehicle, maybe possibly a van or some sort of SUV that's off-road, so I can really get deep in there. And the other thing I like about camping in the car is, like, you pull up and you don't have to put all this stuff out. I put out a chair, or I bring out my stove, and it's very easy to clean up and go. So that's another reason I like to do the car camping. Number 17, would you consider doing a long-distance hike? The answer to that is yes. I've thought about it quite often. I've talked to my dad about it. My dad and my brother and I, we went on the Appalachian Trail for 3 weeks when I was 16, and I absolutely loved it. I have thought about doing the Appalachian Trail. I've also thought about doing the Florida Trail, which is shorter. However, I do have pets, and I don't feel comfortable leaving them behind because they are getting up in age. So I don't know if and when that'll happen. But yes, I would definitely consider doing a long-distance hike. Number 18, what did you do before YouTube? Well, before YouTube, I worked at Home Depot for 19 years, and then I worked for a company called MSC Industrial Supply, where we would source tools for aerospace engineering. I also was doing Ironman triathlons and traveling around the world. I went to quite a few places, did that for a long time. I did a lot of mountain bike racing and road bike racing for years when I was younger. And also I play saxophone, and I've been doing that, for a long time, playing in different groups locally. Number 19, do you look for Bigfoot in other states? Yes, I do. I have been to every single state in the United States but Hawaii. So even traveling through them, even when I wasn't an active investigator, I would always think about Bigfoot when I was traveling through, and
you hear that?
And I've been up in Georgia and found a few things that were suspicious. I've been up into New Hampshire, in the snow, all out in Colorado, all out west, all out in South Dakota. So yeah, I do go to other places. I'd like to spend more time in other places, but yes, I do go to other states and look. Number 20, have I ever seen a ghost? I really don't know if it was a ghost or not, but I thought I saw an apparition, and the person that was there with me said they thought it was their mother by the person I explained it to them, and I had never met their mother, so it was quite interesting. And then there was one other time when my mom had passed away. She passed away in May, and then it was that following December. I got up one morning, walked out to the Christmas tree, and saw a ball of light roll across the floor, and I took it as a signal that everything was okay. But I don't really know if I saw a ghost or not. But those two things stick with me, and I wonder about them. Number 21, have you ever seen a UFO while camping? I did see some red lights one night while camping that I couldn't explain, but I don't know that it was a UFO. I really don't know what it was. But I have seen something during the day by my house one time that looked like sparkly silver balloons, like a huge line of them just floating through the sky. And I thought, well, maybe it was a weather balloon, but I looked up weather balloons and it didn't look anything like that. So I don't know what it is I saw that day, but it was something. Number 22, are you ever going to do a collaboration with Dee's Dark Adventures? Personally, I don't know Dee. We have talked in emails about things. She seems like a really nice person, and I really like her content. I would love to do something with Dee. However, Dee likes to do things alone. She has stressed that in her videos. I've heard her say that. She might be up for a collab, but the problem is Dee and I live over 1,000 miles apart. So if I ever get up near her, I'll reach out to her and ask her if she would be interested. But as of right now, I don't have any plans. So we'll see. I don't know, but I do like her content. She's pretty cool. Number 23, what scares me the most? I think I've answered this one already. And I said humans scare me the most because they're unpredictable. Number 24, are you going to get a Patreon? That's a good question. I'm able to do that now. However, I haven't. I've been looking into it, but I don't know if it's a good thing. And I don't want my subscribers to have to pay to see my content. If they want to give me a tip, fantastic, that's great. But I don't want them to think that they have to. And I don't want them to expect that they're going to have to do a monthly fee just to see, my content. It rubs me wrong. We'll see. If you think that I should, let me know. But as of right now, I'm not sure. Number 25, how can I donate to your channel? Okay, well, there's several ways you can donate to my channel if you feel you want to. I don't have an address set up for you to send me anything yet. Maybe in the future, but you can either, give me a super thanks through YouTube, or if you look in my description, I have it set up where you can buy a sticker from me that helps support my channel, or you can just send me a one-time donation through PayPal or Venmo, and also I have buy me a coffee set up, so you could, do that, send a one-time donation through there if that's what you feel you like to do. I do appreciate the donations. They help immensely, but I don't require them, and that's up to you. Also, if you're interested in the gear I use, I do have an Amazon link that I get a little bit of a kickback if you buy it through there. It doesn't cost you any more. It's just I get a little bit of a kickback from it. But yeah, that's how you can donate if you'd like to donate anything. Number 26, this is the last and final question. If you like these Q&As, I'll probably do another one later, my YouTube or either on my Instagram. But number 26 is, why don't you have a dog with you? Or why don't I get a dog? The truth is, I do have a dog. I have 2 dogs. However, one of them is a yellow lab. Her name is Lucy, and she is 11, I believe now. She's getting up there, and she doesn't move as well as she used to. So, with a big dog like her in my small car, that's not going to work out. But she's older. she wouldn't be able to do the longer hikes, so I just don't bring her with me anymore. And as far as the other dog, she's a little Yorkie, and I don't feel comfortable bringing one dog and not the other. But the Yorkie, she could probably come with me, and she's young still. She's like 4. So, in the future, maybe you'll see her in some videos. I don't know. Like something jumped out of a tree. Big.